decision. So now the chief, or Deputy Chief Humphrey, is going to release the body cam footage from the last officer-involved shooting that occurred on Frankfurt Avenue, I believe 2 Thursdays ago today.
I just have one more follow-up about the 10 days specifically. The prior policy before KSB got involved was 24 hours. Were there issues with that policy that were identified as to why there's not a return to that policy, or maybe a 72-hour policy instead? Why 10 business days?
Well, for several reasons. First, now all officers are wearing body-worn cameras. Second, we are going to be consistent with this policy, and I think that's very important. If you have a practice, it's important to be consistent and to follow that, and so we will. And then also, as was talked about earlier, we are looking to, we understand the need for transparency. That is a primary goal here. At the same time, we want a fair and thorough investigation so that it is appropriate and it is fair. And so that gives us the time to at least have the opportunity to interview not just the officer who may have been directly involved, but also, as you'll see in this case, there were many officers that were on the scene, and we want to be able to give PIU the opportunity to interview everyone who was at the scene of one of these incidents.
Mayor, I wanted to ask,
yeah, last question.
In your first month, you had voiced frustrations with how long some of these videos took the previous administration to come out. When did you know that this was something you wanted to implement?
Well, I think right away in those conversations, I wanted to get body cam footage out as quick as possible. Regardless of what occurred, I think it's very important that the public have the ability to see what happened in this day and age. That is critically important. And I think everyone, all of the executive team of LMPD agrees that transparency is important. And so to me, this is a very positive step forward, that within 10 business days of a significant incident like an officer-involved shooting, as you'll see here today, we are releasing the body cam footage. This is a new approach, and I would venture to guess not many other cities in the country are this committed to committing to a time frame to release body cam footage of significant incidents like this. So that's a perfect segue to show you the body cam footage from the last officer-involved shooting that happened 10 business days ago.
Okay, so this incident is from August 3rd at around 10 p.m. in the 2000 block of New Main Street. It involves Officer Roberto Cedeno, who is a 4th Division late watch officer who was hired in September of 2020 and sworn in April of 2021. He has 4 letters of commendation and no record of discipline in his personnel file. I want to remind you, as we watch this video, we are watching an incident where someone lost their life. We're also watching an incident that was very traumatic for the officers involved as well.
On August 3rd, 2023, around 10 p.m., LMPD's 5th Division officers received a call from a community member to respond to the 2000 block of New Main Street on a report of gunshots being fired in the neighborhood. Preliminary information reveals that a resident heard a loud pop outside. Initially, the resident was unsure if the sound was a gunshot. When the resident went outside to investigate, he saw a backpack and a laptop under his truck directly in front of his house. He then heard additional gunfire. When officers arrived on scene, they spoke to the resident and began their investigation. At approximately 10:19 p.m., officers advised they heard shots being fired towards their direction. One officer advised that he may have been struck and felt something hit his leg. Roughly 10 minutes later, the individual fired shots near the officers on New Main Street. Additional officers on the Frankfurt side of the incident began responding to the gunfire. A short time later, a subject was located in an alley and pointed a handgun at Officer Cedeno. Officer Cedeno discharged his weapon, striking the subject. A loaded firearm was found in the individual's right hand. The subject was also in possession of an additional magazine loaded with ammunition. What you are about to view is body-worn camera footage from the officers who responded to the incident. In accordance with LMPD procedure, the officer was placed on administrative leave. The LMPD Public Integrity Unit is the lead on the investigation. A copy of the case file will be turned over to the Commonwealth Attorney's Office for determination of final disposition. A copy will also be provided to Kentucky State Police for a thorough investigative review, and a copy will also be provided to to the Louisville Office of Inspector General in compliance with our existing memorandum of understanding.
911 operator Paul, where's your emergency?
Anything? There's been some shots fired over here.
Do you see anyone that shot?
No, no.
How many shots did you hear?
I heard 3, and that was about 10 minutes ago, and now I just heard another one.
Hey, man, what's going on? Okay.
I'm in my house. I hear what sounds like 3 shots.
Okay.
I had a car on battery car drive by. I'm like, fuck, the battery probably blew up. You know, that's the first thing that went through my mind. Sound like gunshots though. So I go around and I go back there and it's fine. I pick off charges. Well, I stopped in. My sister lives right here. I stopped in to see her. And when I come out, as I was walking down this sidewalk, this has been like 20 minutes, right? I heard somebody over say something about putting the gun away, put your gun down, and I heard another shot. It's on the other side of the tracks.
Metro? I was lit! Shots fired, shots fired. New Main Street. He's in the wood line. I might be hit. Hold what you got, hold what you got. It came from that wood line there. I felt something hit my leg. Just heard another round.
So what you've seen is what will be typical of the curated section of an officer-involved shooting video, where we've given an explanation of the circumstances as well as shown the video down. We've paused it so that you could see how the person was positioned with the gun in their hand, as well as later highlighting the gun that was next to the subject after the incident. The entire raw version of this video of both officers, Officer Reinhardt as well as Officer Cedeno, will be posted to our YouTube page so it can be viewed in its entirety, with the only redactions being for protection of sensitive information. Thank you.